Hi parents, it's Kristen Tortorella, the junior high pastor here at North Coast Fallbrook. Just wanted to give you a quick update on what we did on Sunday morning. It was a really cool thing that we did. We did things a little bit differently. On Sunday, and it wasn't so much about my talk, but the students actually did an activity. This time of year, I really feel like it is New Year's for students because they're starting their new school year, and so this kind of feels like their New Year's because it's a fresh start for them. And so I challenged them to really take a close look at our theme verse for chaos, which is 2 Corinthians 5:17, and it says, "If anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old things have passed, and all things are new." And I asked the students to come up to the whiteboard and get in line, and they were either to underline or circle or star what they thought was the most important part of that verse. And then we unpacked that a little bit at just what does our youth group see as the most important part of that verse, and what does that say about us, and are we living that out? And the big word for the day was change. Are we really a new creation, and how have we changed since we stepped over that line and decided to follow the Lord? And so after we talked about that, I handed out a journal sheet to the students and gave them a few minutes to fill it out and think about it. And some of those questions on there were, what are some ways that you want to change the different areas in your life this coming school year? And the categories were your friendships, your activities, your studies, your faith, your relationship with the Lord, and how can your Christian friends help you get there, and how can the leaders at church help you get there? And I took those and read them so that we could help the students, and then said I would give them a copy back if they'd like to keep their themselves accountable to their goals. And it was just a really cool experience, I think, for them to kind of think about, wow, this really is a fresh start, and think about, how did I do things last year, and did that work so well, and were those things honoring to the Lord, and how can I learn from last year and do things differently this year? Where did I start, and where do I want to finish? And I think a cool thing to ask your student this week in terms of following up with this is, where do you feel like you are now in terms of your friendships, your activities, whether that be sports or, youth group, whatever it might be, your studies at school and your relationship with God. Kind of ask them to identify, where do you think you are currently with those things? And then after they think about that, say, well, where would you like to be with those things? And then maybe help them identify some of the obstacles that are between where they are and where they want to be. And then working together, how can we overcome some of these obstacles? How can I, as the parent, help you with these obstacles? Or how do you think, your Christian friends or church, how do you think that can help you with these obstacles? And really emphasizing that change. How can we be changing and growing? Are we truly a new creation, the new creation that we want to be? So hope that helped, and that sparked some good conversation between you and your student. And thanks for listening and taking the time to pour into your student. We're always here to help, and we'll see you next week.